Yeah, it is what it is. A cafe nightly show here with the Goldsmith. This is 22nd of August, 2024. And it was today what we forecast yesterday. Art-et-Metiers sold out relatively quickly. And again, I didn't say the quiet part out loud before, but I'll say the quiet part out loud now. Shame on you. No, there's a lot of people who bought those properties for the sake of flipping them because it is one of the rare limited commodities in the game of Upland. You cannot say that a city is a limited commodity just because a city releases. That doesn't make every single property in that city something that people want. But because there's a special utility, because there is a reason to have those properties, the Art-et-Metiers properties were a hot commodity. People went and bought them, and they wanted them, and they wanted to get one or two. They wanted to get what they wanted to get, and other people wanted to get what they wanted to get, so they could flip it. I'm seeing a lot of dark green properties right now with high dollar amounts on them because that was the play. That was the play for certain people because that's what they want to do. And ultimately, it is a multiple player game. We'll get into it in a little more detail, but ultimately, the quick selling is not a surprise. Good to see a 6 weeks. Not a surprise to see how fast that sold through. And I got a few announcements today. Unfortunately, they were all related to the Art-et-Metiers. It's like Art-et-Metiers coming, last call, and then like, oh yeah, Art-et-Metiers sold out. Haha, that was quick, wasn't it? And no new Paris collections. That was just the Thursday review, right? Thursday review is you get a new Paris collections because this area sold out. We got an update today on Paris collections. No new collections. We'll get into a little more on that detail and some realities there. Good to see you, Swarley. And then, of course, let's talk about the big hole. Not a lot else going on. We will mention the two last things that we want to keep our eyes on tomorrow. We will get our payouts on the airdrop for Chapter 2. And then I'm going to call it Chapter Bonus 1? The airdrop payout for prior earned Sparklet that you held on to and didn't bridge out of the game of Upland with a multiplier applied. That cut off that snapshot. Again, the snapshot of the multiplier and the snapshot of the Sparklet that you didn't bridge out. That is going to be next Friday the 30th. So that's a week out. So that's something to continue on with your task along the way. Let's get the disclaimer out of the way. We'll get through the news. We'll make it a quick one because ultimately, not a lot of surprises today. All views and opinions expressed by myself, they're mine and mine alone, should not be taken as game strategy or financial advice. They do not and should not be taken as the opinions or the voice or anything coming from the game or the team of Upland. Any views and opinions expressed by those who do come on as contributors are theirs and theirs alone as well. They represent myself, the Goldsmith, the Cafe Nightly Show, or the team or the game of Upland. As always, as we jump in, lots of grumping going on 6 weeks. I'm not being grumpy. I'm being real. But yes, there is and there was a quick mint through of the Art-et-Metiers neighborhood in Paris. And yes, it was a portion of Paris that had a special utility. Special utility is my friend D-Tech. And, again, everyone knows D-Tech. I do put it on, I do make it a point of pride that I've had a opportunity to, spend time, do things with D-Tech over the years, count him as a friend. Great to see that he has a set of his designs that can be viewed, in this neighborhood. So they will be there for all time. I wish I had a property. And again, this is not me saying I'm going to spend at any price. I'll be real. And again, this is not a game strategy or financial advice. I never want to tell people what to do or what to expect or what not to do. But I always look at these limited time events where people come in and buy a property for that quick flip, that the high floor that gets established is likely not going to last. But we will take a quick look at Art-et-Metiers because that's exactly what happened. A very high floor was established. People were essentially listing properties at 3 or 4x on Min. Some did sell, but ultimately you get that floor or you get that static point where things aren't moving and people aren't lowering prices for a bit, and ultimately those prices do lower over time. And we often see that when people buy just for the flip, and then the next thing happens, whether it is they want to have UpX for the next city release, or there's another contest or event where they want to have UpX available, or they even decide to sell into USD and they want to get some USD out quickly. Instead of sticking at the high pricing, they end up moving things down a little bit because ultimately they know what they bought the property for, and they bought it for the opportunity of the quick flip, or to flip it as quick as possible and to take a profit. They didn't buy it because they wanted to hold it long term, because they probably wouldn't have listed it on the market immediately if they had bought it to hold long term. Again, lots of things are possible. Let's get a shared screen here. Let's go take a look at Art-et-Metiers, and let's see what's going on the floor. The big, easy thing to say about Art-et-Metiers is it's sold out, and sold out quickly. The Art-et-Metiers neighborhood here, just about the center of Paris, at least with the center of Paris, as far as the neighborhoods that we have minted in the game. Here we go, Art-et-Metiers. Look at all those green dots. Oh my God, there's so many. But look at this. This is the other point of pride. Again, I understand this is a game of flipping, and that's how a lot of people have built their net worth. But the point of pride for me in the community of the players of Upland, everybody playing together. Good to see you, Dopest crew. And okay, 6 weeks. Not saying about me, but other people can play. But this is a point of pride for me. This is a point of pride for me. If I look at the map and we can see all of these structures that have been started, look at them all. And these aren't the smallest structures that are possible to start here. Look at these apartments, these large structures here. Look at that. Let's see if we could find a nice large manufacturing building in here. Let's the factory that got started. We can see if one of those. Oh, look at that over there. Right there's one right there. There's one right there. This is obviously Death Enders. This is obviously D-Tex. This is Dizzy Disky. So Dizzy Disky buying one of those larger properties so he can get a factory on it. So that's awesome to see. Again, there's good variety of these structures out there. There's some of the micros. There's some of the townhouse sizes. Here's an apartment. This is incredible. It's incredible to see that the majority of these properties, maybe not majority, but close on 50%, it's getting close to 50% of these properties have a structure in Art-et-Metiers that's already started. It's incredible, because that's what these are here for. They're here for the ability to build these limited time structures, or not limited time, limited edition structures that can only be built in a small area. Again, the Art-et-Metiers district, or Art-et-Metiers neighborhood in Paris. And it is incredible to see these get started. It's going to be beautiful to see the city get fully built out. But yeah, you see all of these on sale properties. If they put them on sale, they're not building on them, right? You don't have an in process structure on a property that you have for sale. So they made the choice. They made the choice not to immediately build these structures, but instead to put them on sale to maybe have somebody who wants to build the structure buy them. Again, they're taking their little piece, they're taking their profit. That's part of the game of Upland. I might take a little bit of take a little bit of a joke or tisk, but really that is the game of Upland. So one of the few neighborhoods where you can take that quick flip. Obviously, people taking that opportunity where they can, and look at all these structures get built. So looking forward to it. Again, we can say, with pretty strong, and I can say with pretty strong conviction that these are beautiful looking structures. They do definitely belong in the Upland, in the game of Upland. If you ask me, the time, the effort, the dedication, the vision, the real vision of building a structure that has a defined voice, and some cohesivity, yeah, sure, some cohesiveness between each of the structures in this neighborhood. I think it's the perfect balance of having similarity between each of the structures and having each of the structures, again, designed on its own or staying out on its own. It really was an incredible job by D-Tech. It's one of those things that you can't say enough times. King Cody says, yeah, I got 3 structures under constructions in Art-et-Metiers. Congratulations, King Cody. To those who were able to mint 2 or 3 or 4, or to those who minted 2 and bought another 2, congratulations to you. I keep saying this, it does look really nice that 9 a.m. PT is right in the middle of the day, right close to noon for me on the East Coast of the United States. It is nice. It is nice. But with my work schedule, that doesn't always work out for me. I would rather it be at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, midnight, my time. I would know I could be available to go and do the minting. But to those who it works out for the schedule, those who are in the US and are able to have a break or a lunchtime at that time, pop in there and mint, the game is in your favor. If you're the type of person who's their time zone, if you're in England, for example, and it's right after you got home from work, it's essentially 6 p.m. and you're in the UK, that could be a great time to mint. There are parts of the world where it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and that's not always great. But for anybody who got the chance to participate either by waking up at a stupid time in the middle of the night, which isn't convenient for you, or because it just happened to be the right time of day, congratulations. This is definitely something that people put the effort in when they're interested, or put the effort in as they can to participate in this. This was a competitive bin. This happened quickly. This was something that if you're coming in, I didn't make it on time. I want to come in 10 minutes later and go. No. Unfortunately, sorry, too late. You missed the opportunity. Maybe better luck next time. Because we take a look back here, we see this. Come on, we can do it. We can do it. We get this reminder. Hey, everybody, it's your final reminder that the community neighborhood of Art-et-Metiers in Paris will be open at 9 a.m. PT. This announcement was at 8:25 a.m. PT. It's going to happen at 9 a.m. PT. Get ready. We expect it to go fast, so make sure you position yourself well if you're going to participate. Guess what? 12 p.m. my time, aka 9 a.m. PT. The Art-et-Metiers Paris is now open for minting. Good luck. Oops, it sold out. That's like almost instant. Sold out almost instantly afterwards. That was 12:05 my time, aka that was 9:05 a.m. PT, aka it sold out in about 4 minutes. The entire neighborhood. It was there, and then it wasn't anymore. So if you were able to get in those 5 minutes, congratulations. Good on you. I really hope you enjoy those properties. Now is the time to get creative and start building. And again, now is the time to get creative, start building, get those structures started. And that's exactly what many, many people did. I said it was between 40 and 50%. I'm looking back. It's more than that. I am excited. I'm excited to see more of these get started. And for those who have those properties listed, if you take your profit, you can. Good on you. If you see that it sits there for a while, lower the price. Maybe some people are interested, but not at 400 and 500%. Maybe when it comes down a little bit, they'll come and buy. Because I'm looking forward to 100% build out. Maybe you'll get to 85, 90, and not quite get to 100, but it'd be great to get to 100. And here's the thing. Here's what I'm going to propose. And this is just a suggestion. I'm not the one to organize it because I don't own any properties in the neighborhood. Maybe I will at some point, but I don't own any properties in the neighborhood. So I'm not the one to organize it. Maybe it's D-Tech. And again, I don't want to put any extra work on him because I know he spent a couple months working on these structures. But here is a proposition, or here is a suggestion. What if Art-et-Metiers, because we know it is going to get fully constructed, or hopefully get fully constructed, what if that is a neighborhood that people really make a play for one of the community-driven collections? Again, a collection that is built around a neighborhood that puts a lot of effort into having the structures built. They have a number of residents, that people who do set their residence in that neighborhood, and they have a number of other things. They have production in manufacturing. We know there's a couple factories going in, and they have again, Spark invested in building structures, and then they have additionally like map assets located in that area. There's a number of small things there, and I think Art-et-Metiers, starting with all the investment in building structures, starting with the fact that there's a couple factories that people started there, adding the fact that people can definitely base meta ventures there if they choose to do so. I think that's a great neighborhood to make the play. Maybe not next month, maybe a couple months down the line, but to build that community, build a node. We use that language pretty freely, but build a node, build a community around ownership in that neighborhood. make it mean something, celebrate the structures in the area, and turn it into a community collection. Because again, it is one of those special neighborhoods that deserves that type of treatment. It does require a community to come together and people to do things and build that group, whether that group is a, a Discord group or some other form of communication or organization. It takes a little bit of work to come together to do that. But if you can do that, I would recommend you do. Let's make this neighborhood special if we can. Again, that's my position as somebody on the outside, as a non-owner in the neighborhood, but I'd love to see that happen. I think it's the right one there. Swarley, I think the Mark Ferguson effect, and they're got nothing, win some, lose some. Oh, there was a lot of people who just like go in there, buy what you can, flip them. It's the best flip opportunity. I see what you're looking at, Swarley. It was that. Uh, Swarley says, I think they should have been a bundle sale. Maybe. We've had those where, everyone gets one in that before anyone else gets a second, where everyone who signs up gets the opportunity for one before anyone gets a second. Definitely understand that. People do like competitive mint, so it's nice to have competitive mints as well. It's a balance in the gameplay style for sure. And it would have been nice for me to have one. But again, it's also fun to have that competitive mint. So, half a dozen one, six the other as far as that's concerned. But very much excited that it did happen as quickly as it happened. Very much excited that there was as much, people leaping to do that. And if I came in and I saw that entire city, I'd make a joke about the number that are dark green. But it is not 50%. It is 15%. We're looking at the number that are listed versus a number that are light blue with construction going on. It is very nice to see as many of these properties as there are with construction going on them. Who knows? Maybe they're going to flip them out once the construction is complete. But it is nice to see as many of these structures constructed as or in the process of construction as there is. I'm looking forward to seeing these get completed. I already see that there's a bunch of people who took map assets and put map assets on these properties. You can already see a bunch of this going on here. They've decorated their properties. They are making these properties special, or these are individuals who own these properties who've chosen to make these properties special. And maybe, just maybe, that idea of going ahead and making this a special node in the game, maybe that's already in people's minds. So looking forward to seeing how this neighborhood holds up long term. Love to see it become a love to see it become a neighborhood collection. Love to see it become a community driven neighborhood collection. Museum of Art-et-Metiers. That's going to be a landmark. So excited to see that become a landmark here. That's why we have that hole here right in the middle. Museum of Arts-et-Metiers, not minted right now. It will be a landmark later. So that will be an exciting landmark to see come in the game. But otherwise, it minted out, and it minted out fast. Less than 5 minutes is all it took. And again, it will be a special neighborhood. Very, very likely something that people build a community around, because D-Tech put a lot of work to get those structures looking the way the structures look. And we're glad it happened. We're glad it happened. All right. And then, of course, let's take a look here of our no announcement is an announcement. The no announcement is an announcement of the day is, hey, guess what? No new collections for the list. You have a collection in Paris that gets disclosed based on it being entirely minted out, which means that there's 3 collections that still exist for Paris that have not been fully minted out yet. We'll see what gets minted out next week. This is an encouragement. The way this is set, this is an encouragement from the game of Upland to mint out the rest of the city of Paris, looking for those last collections. Ultimately, if the entire city of Paris doesn't mint out, or it mints out entirely except for 17 properties, it is possible that one of those 17 properties is in a collection that, if it was minted, poof, we would have that collection pop up. We don't know that. So if you own a property in Paris, this is a note for your own benefit. If you own a property in Paris, there is a potential, again, without disclosure of what the collections are that are outstanding, there is a potential that any property you own in Paris could potentially be part of a collection. Keep that in mind as you're buying, selling, trading properties on the secondary market. If you're minting properties, you continue minting properties that you want to mint, and maybe, just maybe, it will line up with a collection. We don't know. we don't know until Upland again announces those collections. There are a couple of collections that are still possible if people can mint out that are going to hit collection. So do your due diligence, keep your eyes out, and keep on enjoying the city of Paris if you're there and minting properties as you have the time, availability, and the UPIX to do so. I do want to do a reminder this coming Friday the 23rd, aka tomorrow. Is going to be a drop of Sparklet. We don't know what we're going to get. It's going to be exciting to see it. We'll talk about it again tomorrow. So that is a drop based on the activities you did in Chapter 2 of the airdrop. Again, the share and repost campaign that we had the Chapter 2 version of. Again, Chapter 1, the same thing. Was a little bit different metric. It didn't include the idea of actual interactions with your post. It was more about what is your number of followers, what is the age of your account. That's changed some. We did see people get much higher multipliers for, again, engaging or having an engaged audience, and that was kind of fun. That was fun this time around. We'll see what that actually lines up with, or that actually meets out with the amount of Sparklet that individuals are getting. And who knows? Who knows? I'll see how much I get. Maybe I'm excited. Maybe I'm not. But Sparklet is a nice thing. Any amount is a nice thing to get. So that'll be happening tomorrow. The 30th, again, we will have gamified tasks to get done between now and the 30th to increase the multiplier for our next airdrop, which is going to be airdrop based on previously earned Sparklet. Again, with a multiplier based on the number of gamified tasks that you did complete for the sizzle season. The note on that is we got something that we can do, but we need to do some of them together. You got to do something with other uplanders, specifically racing in Track Hero and racing in car races. It's not always easy, depending what time of day you're on the game, to have an open race and get enough people into it. Sometimes people aren't looking to race the same racetrack as you. You don't ever know that. But the way to do that is you can coordinate. You can say, hey, I'm looking at doing this race in blank racetrack at this time, and you got 3 people to do it and race against you, and poof, you've got a qualifying race. Guess what? We'll do that tomorrow. If Upwind doesn't have any big announcements, we'll do a few of those tomorrow in the Cafe Nightly show. That's going to be open to anybody. They'll be open. So theoretically, if you're not a member of the audience, you can participate if you just happen to be looking around tomorrow. But ultimately, if you are in the audience tomorrow night, we'll be trying to do that during the show. If there's no announcements, if there are announcements, we'll get those announcements out of the way. And then we'll do the same thing. We'll get some racing done. It is a Friday. It's a good opportunity to do so. And let's get as many, between you and me and everybody else, let's get as many of those multiplied tasks or those tasks to get the multipliers as possible. I want everybody to be happy with the amount of Sparklet they get. It is a nice way of rewarding active players. There are some people who are less active, and that's their choice. They get a lower price. I think that's a fair way to do it and works for me. But if you're an active player, do put your activity in the right area, and this is the right area right now to get the highest possible amount of Sparklet out of these airdrops. Looking forward to that tomorrow. But for tonight, thank you so much for being here. Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. PT, we get together. Tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. PT, we'll do the show alongside it, or while we do the show. We'll do some racing to help you get some gamified earnings along the way, and then some reminders of small tasks that you can do to get some more gamified earnings as well, or get some more tasks completed for the gamified earnings to get a better multiplier for your Sparklet for the snapshot on the 30th. Thank you so much. Again, if you're in the Upland Cafe Discord, as always, feel free to unmute your mics. Floor is yours.